Okay, hey guys, welcome to my interpretation of Serial the Podcast, episode 2, season 3. First off, my thoughts were when the judge was talking to Tyrell at the start of the podcast, I think it was so demeaning, especially when you hold such a high position of power where you're in control, you're in a professional setting. You should not be talking to people like they're the gum at the bottom of someone else's shoes. And by that, I mean when he started bringing up personal aspects of Tyrell's life that wasn't I don't think necessary. Like bringing up like how his brother and sister probably are good, they probably don't bring trouble to their parents' doors, talking about Tyrell's dad and then assuming just because of like that Tyrell's mom has different baby daddies, assuming that the kids were not like fully biologically related. That was just weird. It was unprofessional. It was unneeded for what Tyrell was being charged with. Like it just was not something that should have been brought up. Like you should not be getting that personal as a judge to your defendant in the first place. Like, you should not be having to use slang to connect with your defendants. They're supposed to treat you with respect, and you should treat them with respect too. Like, you don't need to be talking about baby daddies, baby mommies, brother, sister, bro, dude with your defendants. That's weird. That's not professional. Like, that's not in your job description. And we see other judges in the podcast too. Like, they show other judges and how they wrap things up quick. They don't get into personal details, especially with cases like this where it isn't something needs to be dragged out for like hours and hours. Like there are judges that finish this up in like 20 minutes, and yet this judge's goal is like taking an hour because he's getting personal with these defendants, and it just isn't necessary. Another thing is I think he comes off like one of those people that really enjoys the power that they have as judge. And while I think I respect most judges because yes, they earned that position of power by getting voted in, by working hard most of the time, as like we would want them to. Something that really irked me was because he was talking about how he puts the most people on probation out of everyone in the courthouse. And then he said, because I can always put them in prison later, right? And I can keep my eye on them. And it seems like he is in the effort of helping people. He just really enjoys that feeling of control and dominance that he has over the people on probation because they have to follow his every order. He keeps his eyes on them, he keeps track of them. Like that, those are like somebody referred to him as like a modern day slave owner, and that's what I feel like this is. Like he controls them and he enjoys that feeling of control that he has over these people. And that shows up later when we hear about Vivian, who requested to be moved to drug court, and the judge wouldn't let her move to drug court even though it would have been better fitting for her. And it was just a weird situation because like it was shown that it would have been better for her, and that the things that happened later on in her criminal record wouldn't have occurred had Judge Gall let her go to drug court. Like I feel like him holding her back from that made her situation worse. um I think he's just one of those people that thrives on the idea of submission and the fact that these people have to gravel and do exactly what he says. And that just irks me in the wrong way. Like he wants these people to remember him as somebody with so much utter power, but then he also isn't super professional in that sense. I will say I looked into him a little bit after I watched the podcast, and I realized the podcast was set in 2018. I didn't know that earlier. He actually no longer is a judge. Like he got suspended off of the bench because there had been, this was quote from the Cleveland Metro Bar Association, the suspension comes 2 years after disciplinary council filed a complaint alleging 31 instances of misconduct in 8 different cases over a period of 5 years. So as of 2024, he is no longer on the bench. And to that, I have to say, thank God, because based on just this podcast alone, I don't think it's fair. Like, I don't think what he's doing is okay. Like, yes, these people are criminals. Do I think they deserve to be treated like they're a burden and that they are the gum at the bottom of someone else's shoes? No, because that's not what this justice system should be about. It should be about treating everybody equally. And if you're gonna play that game, then we're just not gonna do it. And he acknowledges it too. He's like, I've been called sexist, I've been called racist, I've been called this and that. And I was like, then why do you keep doing it? Because you're not connecting with your defendants in the way that you think you're connecting with your defendants. You just sound crazy. Like, if I was in that courtroom as a defendant, I don't think I would have that level of respect. Like, even lawyers know, and they're like, if you just suck it up to him, like, he'll just give you probation and not jail time. It's like, if everyone in the courtroom knows that the only way that they can get off is because they have to submit to you, then you're just kind of crazy, and people are not gonna think of you that higher up of how they just think you're crazy. Because if I was a defendant in that courtroom, I would have said, yo, this man is crazy. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this episode. I think it was really interesting. I'm really glad that he's no longer a judge. I hope he doesn't get rehired. Thank you, Cleveland Metro Bar Association, I guess. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Hello?